You know, defensively we did some good things. I thought offensively, once we adjusted to their physicality, I thought we settled in pretty well. And the unselfish nature with which I want us to play was on display, which was good to see. I've seen some of it in practice, and I was just hoping when we played somebody else it'd also be there, and it was.
How would you assess your team's ability to handle physicality now that we've seen it?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was so pleased that Iowa State was the one on the schedule this year, because obviously they play a very physical brand of defense and try to take some things away that maybe not other teams take away. But it's always going to be a bit of a challenge for us just because the way we play in practice. You know, right now we have both teams playing fast, both teams trying to play in space. We're not trying to take a lot of passes away, so you just have to adjust to that and be ready for that. And we prepared for it going into Saturday, and I thought for the most part we handled it well. Yeah, he's a rock. You know, he's just he's Mr. Steady. He brings it every single day. His communication skills are really good for someone that's new to the program, but he's played a lot of college basketball at a high level, and it shows. He's in the right place at the right time, makes the right play, doesn't make many mistakes. I just think he can be a real glue guy for this team because we can use him in a lot of different ways, but he's going to be an important part of our rotation.
What characteristics do you have to have, or do you have to possess and be confident to come into a new situation that he has and assume those roles?
Yeah, you know, I think in Bello's case, he was, you know, when he made the decision to leave TCU, and obviously they've got a very successful program there, and they're very good again this year. He was looking for a system that he thought fit him a little bit better than the one that he was in. And obviously the pace with which we play, the spacing, three-point shooting, we do a little more than that than they do there, and I think he thought it fit him. So, you know, his eyes were wide open coming in with how we played, and I think he did a good job of studying it as he went through the recruiting process. So I don't think there were any surprises. I think we knew exactly what we were getting in Francisco, and I think he was comfortable that he could make a seamless transition into our system.
How's Trey's preseason gone so far?
Good. I've been really pleased with him. He's made incredible progress, and you know, he's going to turn some heads, I think, this season. With, you know, he can play both ends of the floor, but he's got a pace about him. You know, it never gets sped up. You know, he's shooting the basketball better. He's going left better than he was a year ago, finishing going both directions, and he'll have to be a go-to defender for us. So we're going to ask a lot of him, but I think he's capable of stepping up to that challenge. Yeah, I mean, right now he'd be coming off the bench. He gave us really good energy Saturday. Came in, ran the floor, made some shots, was active on the glass. You know, I'm trying to get him to talk a little more, and he's getting better at that. He's kind of quiet by nature, but you know, if he'll just stick his nose in there and compete, and run the floor, and communicate, you know, athletically, he does some things that are pretty special. So, you know, I'd said in the preseason I'd be disappointed if he wasn't part of the rotation, and at least to this point he's earned that right.
With all the national stuff that's out now, I guess, what do you feel like among all the stuff being said about you guys, what do you think you left out or missing among reports?
You know, I don't know. I think people maybe are sleeping on Trey Alexander a little, but you know, you can't have 5 guys on the all-conference team. You know, so I get it. You know, we've got some good players, and it's based off what they did last year, and you know what people think are going to be their progress. But you know, Trey's progress has been really good, and he's been one of our most consistent players in practice, and I'm pretty confident that'll carry over once the games begin.
How do you think Baylor fit into the game? Coming from the system where, you know, he was a high usage player into a team that has a lot of guys returning, you have to kind of get comfortable with roles and things like that. How do you do it?
Yeah, I think he's learned to just trust the offense and, you know, let it come to him rather than trying to have him force it. And you know, he was really good Saturday. He makes great decisions. He plays with intelligent pace. He's able to, you know, use the pass fake, the shot fake, the head fake to freeze the defense and then make the right read after that happens. And he did that on several occasions. And he's, like I've said before, he can score the basketball, but he is an elite passer. And you know, that adding that to what we already had returning is quite a skill to add to this group.
On a similar note, I guess, how much are you emphasizing moving away from the ball, re-spacing, not just with Baylor, but with all the guys who are used to the ball?
Yeah. I mean, it's if you wait and you trust the offense and you get out and run in transition, everybody will get their turn. And depending on who the opponent is, sometimes we want to stay spaced, sometimes we want some movement to keep the defense moving. But you know, I think they've all adjusted, and you know, it's worked pretty well. I think our shot distribution has been relatively even. And you know, I think that's going to be the strength of this group. We have a lot of guys that can score. We have many more guys that can handle it this year than we did a year ago and make decisions with the ball. So I think that's going to be a huge strength for us.
What's your assessment of Art's live reps that you've been able to stack up the last few weeks?
Getting better every day. You know, conditioning's not there yet, but you know, I thought yesterday's practice was his best practice. I thought he slowed down, let it come to him. He's just so anxious and excited to be back out there that he's been in a bit of a hurry. But as he gets in better condition and is able to stack some days on top of each other, I think he'll be closer to his former self. But he was really good yesterday.
There's been a lot of high expectations floating around. Some of these are places that no other team has even been before. How do you discuss handling those with some of these guys?
Yeah, we don't discuss it a lot, to be honest. And we didn't discuss it last year when nobody thought we were going to be any good. So as long as, and I've said it before, as long as they continue to work and they get in and they do what they need to do outside of practice time and they bring it to the practice floor every day, then we'll have a chance to live up to those expectations, as long as we work and we continue to play unselfish. So, you know, we're certainly not afraid of them. I mean, we feel like when we step on the floor, we can play with anybody in the country, and that's not being arrogant or cocky. That's just, we've put some work in. We've been able to assemble a pretty good group. They're playing an unselfish brand of basketball. And if you do all those things, then you better expect to be successful.
How's the relationship between your reestablishing the pace and then decision-making a little bit, you know, you were ready for there to be some high turnover numbers early in practice. How's that relationship?
Yeah, it's been good. I think guys are getting better at running the floor more consistently. And as you get used to that, then your decisions are going to improve as time goes on. But you know, we have to dictate that pace. I think our depth is one of our strengths, and we want to make sure that our pace allows that to play it to an advantage for us. Yeah, I mean, it's why I like the close scrimmage, because it's controlled. It's you know, you're playing another high-level opponent. You can stop things. You can take a little extra time in the timeout if you want. And there's some jitters and nerves, but not like the lights are on and you're putting the uniform on for the first time. So I like the combination of the two, which is why we'll play the Division II game on Sunday. And you know, you get out there in front of the crowd again, and you get those jitters out before your opener, and that's my hope. So Chris Foster, the head coach at Drury, is a former player of mine, and he'll come in and his guys will play hard. His teams usually shoot it really, really well, so we're going to have to figure out a way to take that three-point line away. But it'll be good for us, and it's part of the process of getting ready for your opening day. And the close scrimmage was one step, and then our preparation for Sunday will be the next step.
Are you bringing suits back?
No.
Good. I was worried about this.
Maybe in a casket someday. You know, you're probably not. You know, I've always felt like if a guy misses 2 months, it's going to take 4 months to get back to where you were. It just takes time when you miss that much time. And you know, with R2 and Big Ryan, I haven't seen much. I think they're pretty much back to where they were, and maybe have grown their game some from the end of last season. Art's obviously still a work in progress, just because he missed the first 10, 12 practices, and he's easing his way back in. So he's not back to where he was, but he'll get there.
What do you hope the competitive schedule is?
Well, I hope we survive it, number one. But you have to challenge yourself. I think if you play a good schedule and you're able to be successful, it helps you in March. And it certainly prepares us for the Big East schedule, which is, you want to be ready when December 16th rolls around and, we got to step into a hostile environment in Milwaukee and play a good Marquette team.